Told you guys quickly about Ultimatum season 2. We had Trey and Riah, who had an assortment of issues during their relationship, right? Um, which actually led them to now, I think, putting on they wanted to put the wedding on in 2025 or so and such. And what's interesting is that they had issues. It wasn't necessarily sorted all the way out, but they were working on it. By the reunion, it seemed like they were in a better place, and there was things that they were trying to sort out, right? But now we hear that she was actually pregnant at the reunion, and she is expecting a child in the next few months by January the 5th, I believe, by January time. And my only concern with this, and I wanted to put a concern in it, is I don't want to shame any single mothers or anything. I don't want anyone to take it that way. I want to be very, very clear from both sides. Number one, Trey originally wanted to be married first, or at least that's what it made it seem like on the show. I may be wrong. Wanted to be married first, right? So you've compromised your position and had a child. This 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 is a very dangerous position, right? And the reason why I say dangerous position is because a lot of times what can happen is people have a child, they didn't get married, there's no commitment now, right? And of course, people can divorce, people can break marriages. We all know that already. But the child now you having a child before you guys committing to each other, it's almost like you're kind of negating the work that you wanted to do to make sure you got to a place where you guys were ready to commit to each other. And then you have the child on top of that. That's extra stress, extra pressure. And any existing problems you already have, you got two choices. Either you're going to be way better for it, or you're going to be crushed by those problems. Or you're going to have this third option, which is that there's this teetering that you guys do. You keep touching and then you separate, you keep touching and you separate. And the reason being for that is because we're not solving the core root issues. There were some core root issues that needed to be handled by the both of them. And I don't know if they've solved it or not. We don't know because we don't get to follow their life on a daily. So this is precautionary because I don't know their full life. Um, because of the way that we saw what we saw with Riah and how she was indignant on, wanting to move to Atlanta. They weren't really sure about that. We saw how he wasn't sure if he wanted to go. He said at one point, you go and I'll stay. There was a lot of things that were happening that were really going to be compatibility issues. And now we're having a child, and a child is, a permanent stay. And I'll read this little, we can read a little bit. It says Trayvon, Trey, Bunsen, and Jeriah Nelson are going to be parents. Ultimatum marry or move on couple is expecting their first baby. They each revealed on Instagram on Sunday. Riah 25 shared a photo of a fuzzy onesie, little knit shoes, old time photos, and a sign that reads "Baby Brunson, 25th, 2024." First and foremost, or second and foremost, I want to congratulate them because I also know the trauma that she spoke about on the show. That is not easy to get past. It's not easy to get to a place, right, where you're able to want to conceive, right? So I'm assuming that obviously everything was they wanted to get to that place, right? But yes, congratulations on that because being a mother is not easy, being a father is not easy, but it's you cannot do this without God accepting and saying, I'm gonna send a child your way. Okay. Those are the consequences, but that's also the blessings. Is an arrow in your quiver. Next chapter, motherhood. These 5 months have been so sweet and special. Riah wrote alongside the announcement, from hearing your heartbeat to little flutters and kicks. We cannot wait to meet you. And then I have to also be very honest and true. I forgot that the reason why we even had the trauma is because originally they were going to have a kid before they were going to get married in the first place. So actually, I kind of have to take a little bit back what I said earlier on, because why was Trey in a position with her wanting marriage, but then wanting to have a kid before that stage? And I want to say this, like, for anybody who's watching this, listen, having a child ties you to somebody forever. So just being very, very clear. And of course, some of us have slipped up. We've made mistakes. I've done them. By the grace of God, it hasn't led to a child, etc. So some of us have been, by the grace of God, we haven't been in that position. But I want to just stress this point, right? Chase the commitment, not the child, because the child is a commitment forever. And what happens is, if it doesn't work out between you and the person, you're now co-parenting in a particular way. A lot of times people are immature in the way they even co-parent. It's usually a power struggle or a power dynamic between the two of you. You guys use a child as a weapon. I'm not saying that's these two, but I'm saying when there's existing issues already that haven't been resolved, they oftentimes play into the issues with that child too, where you two are battling over each other, right? Just a little sentiment. On his page, the dad to be wrote, "Everybody, me and Gerard are ready to welcome our baby into the world. I fell in love with our little one. As soon as I found out she was pregnant, Trey also teased a gender reveal coming soon. Okay, and she posted this picture here of the baby, with Brunson, 2024. Oh, the baby pictures, love that, by the way. The couple received congratulations from the Ultimatum family, with host Vanessa Lachey writing, "Wow, congratulations, Mama." Ria's child marriage partner, James Morrison, congratulations, another Ultimatum baby. James' fiance, Ryan McCracken, also said, congratulations, guys, I'm so happy for you. Trey and Riah have been together for 2 years. When he issued the ultimatum, Riah was hesitant to take the next step in the relationship because she never witnessed a happy, healthy marriage before. The final episode saw Trey propose to Riah and her surprisingly saying yes. At the reunion, the two confirmed they're still engaged and currently planning a destination wedding for spring 2025. "I want a gold wedding. I want it to be perfect," Riah said. As Trey added, "Things are good, but I want to work out our work schedules. Real life hit us again, so we're working through that as far as getting on the same page and whatnot. But overall, our relationship is like night and day from what it was." Okay, so my question I'm only asking is, we had set a date for 2025. Had we sorted out Atlanta? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking the question. And if you already set a date for 2025, why did the child have to come before that? Why? Because remember, she already had tried to conceive beforehand, and unfortunately, I think she had a miscarriage, I think, at the time. And so that for me is asking me the question, why is that focus so much on having this child and not focus on getting that commitment right? The reason why you came on Ultimatum was to get the commitment. So why not get that locked in, loaded? Let's get to that place. We still got work on ourselves. So why not get that locked in before we then bring a third party who's going to take up more time and more energy, and it's going to require you guys to be even more healthy than you are at this moment? Just a thought. I'm not saying it has to be that way, but it's just a thought for me. I thought to myself, like, I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but I cannot judge in that sense and say this is better or worse. I can. No, I don't need to stop lying. We can and say that there are better outcomes that we would wish. And sometimes taking this route can cause a lot of issues down the lane. Let's hope that it works out for them, though. Okay. Let's hope that it works out for them. There was a post, I think, that was on her Instagram, and I wanted to bring it up. Yes, let me share this instead. So it says, "Ask away. You said yes, but we only saw doubt and a lot of issues before decision day. What changed?" She said, "We actually had so much growth in our relationship that wasn't shown. It wasn't just tears and confusion. God remembers the show, pause for the drama." Now, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. The show does want drama, and you're absolutely right. One thing I will say about these shows, though, that also is the shows will also show you where you're weakest in your relationship. And if you have a beautiful arc and story, they want to sell that. That sells. Like people, like when you see Cameron and the white guy, Cameron and the black girl, for the name, apologies. When you see them, they sold so much. They are the nation's favorite loved couple from Love Is Blind. Reason being, love sells. So if your relationship has got this great arc where you guys came from absolutely craziness to goodness, they want to show that, because that arc is what we call the natural storyline, where it goes from the beginning, the craziness, the climax, and then the end. People want that storyline. So if you guys had a beautiful ending where there was so much growth, they would have showed that, because, in all honesty, we would have wanted to buy into that. Of course, the drama sells too, but we could have had both, because you guys would have grown. It would have been like, oh my gosh, they've come so far, they're looking to get married. But 2025, but then we have a kid in between. Just my thoughts. Not saying that they're, why was that interview clip added to episode 1 to make you look risky? Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, so like I said, I think, in all honesty, sometimes we like to play as if the shows do us dirty, and they do people dirty. They do like take things out of context and stuff like that. But when you have a whole few weeks and the relationship's being shown, trust me, they're showing you something that needed to be worked on. And if you guys have worked on it, fantastic. But that's my sentiments, my thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. click on that bell button for notification uploads.